Welcome to the Dating Mastermind podcast. My name is Badboy Mercy and I'm here with Dan, one of the greatest dating masterminds of the world. Together we are here to talk to you about the different topics of the dating world. And specifically today, we're going to discuss anything you've ever wondered about first dates. You know, when you try to meet a woman and get to know her and eventually get her home or be in a relationship with her, you're going through the dating phase. And this is something that every man on this planet knows, on at least the Western planet knows. And we're going to dive very deep into that. So first of all, Dan, I have a question for you. What is the dating phase, actually? You know, because guys are, the dating phase is not something that prehistorically is into our genes. You know, it's something that socially became known later. So why do we use dating phase, or what is it for? How is it working?
Hi guys, so that's a good question, and I had many sleepless nights trying to come up with a good phrasing basically to explain what dating is. Okay, and the best what I came up with is basically short explanation. Dating is a process where two people meet over the series of the events, couple of dates, in order to find out do they have compatibility on exchanging of their intimate needs. Okay? It's very complex. So let me explain like this. So you as a man, in your 20s, 30s, you are developing yourself, okay? You are developing your assets, your skill sets, your techniques. You learn, you buy car, you have your apartment, you work on your financial situation. But you are developing your assets on one end. Basically you're good at love making, you discover some good restaurants, you learn how to cook, you learn basically about wine, you learn, can you do some sports, you work on your body, you live healthy, you work on your social circle, your friends. So you're building your assets, your basically your toolbox that you will sell. You're good at sex, you can make a woman happy. So you are building your assets, your toolbox. And that's what you're doing in your 20s, your 30s. I would say whole life, it never stops. Building and adding those assets, learning new languages, traveling around, experiences. You are always working on that. On other hand, women are doing the same thing. Okay, she learns how to cook. She learns how to cultivate her feminine energy. She learns how to take care of a man. She's good at, she gets good at sex, at pleasing the guys, their sexual needs. She's, working on her body. She's, basically working on her intellect, education. She learns how to basically cultivate that kind of feminine energy. And so now, but of course, for you to be happy, you cannot fulfill all your needs. Some of the needs, like for example, I'm hungry, I can cook for myself. I'm thirsty, I can, get something. I want to go to the gym, I can work out. But for example, I cannot suck my own dick. It would be great if one could do it.
Some people can suck their own dick, but I don't think it gives the same satisfaction.
Exactly. So basically, some of the needs you simply cannot fulfill by yourself, and you need to outsource. Okay? You need to find someone who is going to do it.
To outsource. Oh my God. Okay, cool.
So both, even though in your 20s, your 30s, both sexes, both basically ends, they develop some assets, techniques to fulfill their needs, but some of the needs cannot be matched. For example, you want to cuddle, or she wants to cuddle. She cannot cuddle with herself. Like cuddling with a pillow is not, or with a girlfriend, with a friend is not the same as, cuddle with a man that she likes. So it all, basically, there are needs, intimate needs that she cannot fulfill by herself, and she needs a man. You as well. You have your needs that you cannot fulfill by yourself, that you need a woman, like feminine energy, sex, romance, watching stars with someone, kissing, and everything else. So And that's what dating is. So dating is basically exchange of services. She's going on a date to figure out, does this guy has what I need, and basically you are going there, does this girl has what I need to be happy? If the both of you see that kind of you can exchange the needs, that basically you can do what she needs to be happy, you can satisfy her needs, and she can satisfy your needs, potential dating process can start,
Yeah,
relationship as well.
it makes sense. I'm just when you were saying it like this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, but I mean, it makes sense on the logical level, but generally the way that women use, or I'm not sure only women, generally people using dating these days is a bit different, don't you think? I mean, they don't actually try to, how do you say, screen the other person or understand how good it fits them as much as they are trying to get maybe attention, maybe ego boosts, free meals. Like I see that people use dating for a variety of reasons that's not this direct as like, okay, I'm looking for a partner, so let's meet one another. Now it's true that there are a lot of people who are doing the dating phase to do this. But what I'm asking, and it's a bit off topic, but then go back to the topic of the first dates. But like what I'm asking is like, why people use the dating phase for other reasons, or like what make them use dating for other stuff, I don't know, to get other stuff other than meeting the best partner for themselves.
I would say basically what I said is the core. It's the core of why dates, got created in our civilization, in our culture. That's kind of the core things. But just like for example, car. Car is designed to take you from point A to point B. But we use cars for different things today. For Formula One, for truck, for food delivery. So it's like for sex. So it's it goes beyond original design. So of course, some girls, I know some girls, they go on a date just to survive. For them, Tinder is a free meal. It's like I know a girl who flew to a London for a month with 10 bucks, and she's like, yeah, every night I was eating at a nice restaurant. She was using Tinder just to survive. She will go on 2 dates, free meals every day. So yes, people can use. You can use as well. You can use dating to make money. There is lots of possible things what you can do, not just to find yourself a girlfriend. There are. It like what we are using computers today. There are millions of reasons what can you do with a phone or with a computer. So yes, things went a little bit offhand on some way, but I would say the core principle of a date is to find someone who can fulfill your needs or help you to fulfill your needs.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if that's what the guy is looking for, let's start with the fact that most guys are dating, all right? Like, I guess around 80% of the guys are dating. Maybe some date much more, some date much less, but they are meeting women, for these purposes. Maybe it doesn't go over, but that's what they are trying to do. What I'm asking is like, what's the difference? What differentiates a guy that's succeeding, what he's doing, or on the other hand, what's a guy that's failing in dates? So he's going on a date, but it never goes anywhere, not relationships, not sex. He's like, or even if it goes, it's never with the girls that he likes, Like what these guys are doing in dates that make them get these type of results.
I would say it's like with everything else in life, like making money, if you use your intelligence, if you use your knowledge, you will get results. If you're playing it smart, strategically smart, you will get results. If you're just going on a date and freestyling, it's not gonna go nowhere. So some strategy, good planning, understanding what you're gonna do, sticking to the plan, have a plan A, plan B. Lots of times plan A falls apart. You go to a restaurant, it's closed. You go to this place, it's burned down yesterday. They don't work anymore. So you always need to have a plan B. So I would say guys who just freestyle, who are played very emotionally, they're happy about it, they're newbie, they would go, it's not going to work. If you know what you are doing and you stick to your strategy plan, you are smart, you are using your intellect, your brain, it will take you somewhere.
The results are doing that, that makes them fail. Maybe like common mistakes or yeah, that's the question. But
Okay.
actually, you said
Okay, you wanna go into
something
that.
else that triggered my interest. So we'll go to the problems in a moment. You said about guys are not doing it strategically. They're doing it like on a freestyle level, which is interesting because society or people, at least from what I know, are telling you just be yourself, right? And they're like, I don't know, just tell you be normal, just talk, pay for the first date. There are a lot of rules they are giving you of how to be in a date that actually doesn't work. And like what I'm asking actually is how can a guy know that he should stop freestyling and start doing things strategically? Because like everyone are telling him you should do this, and he's not getting the results. Like at what point should he be like, okay, maybe I should change the way that I'm behaving in this dating niche, in this dating thing in my life?
So you are asking for the metrics. Okay, good. If you go on a 10 dates and you have no results,
Okay.
you're doing something wrong. You go on a 10 dates in a couple of months and each one falls apart. There is no second date, third date. It doesn't lead to the sex, to relationship, to anything. That's it. Okay. Speaking of freestyling, speaking of like being spontaneous, just be yourself. I mean, do you go to a job interview and just be
That's
yourself?
good. That's a good one, right? Yeah.
You don't. You don't. Like, of course, you're presenting them what they need to see to hire you for the job. Correct? So you're showing, I mean, it's still you, but it's like a professional side of you. It's like, okay, I'll behave like that, like this is what you can expect from me. I will do for you. I will help you with your needs. You need a coder, you need a programmer, you need a designer, I'm gonna play that role. So same thing is with the girls. You go on a date, she wants to buy certain role, either to be a fuck boy, she's looking for some sex adventures, she's looking for a serious relationship, she wants to get married, whatever it is, So you need to go there and present that side of personality. I can play that role. I can be your boyfriend. I can make love to you every day. I can take care of you every day. You want to present that. You don't want to present. Oh, of course, if that's kind of what you want and what she wants. Of course you can turn girls around and do stuff, but we can talk about that later. But it really is important to have certain strategy and not to freestyle, because if you just go there and have fun,
amazing,
nothing is gonna happen.
That's a very good point. There is actually one more metrics I want you to give before we are moving to the problems, the things, the mistakes that guys are making in first dates. And the metrics is, you said like if in the last couple of months you had 10 dates and none of them went where you wanted it to go, then you are doing something definitely wrong. My question is like, what's the ratio of dates that should be for a guy? Meaning, how many dates per how long? So let's say like 4 dates per week, for example, or like 10 dates per year. Like what's normal? What's the average thing that a normal guy should have?
Okay. I would say 1 or 2 dates per week, which is going to be in a month, what's going to be let's say 5 to 8 new girls in a month. So you go on let's say 1 a week. Okay, average. Like a low level average. Minimum, what I would say is
Going
one
out with
new
a new
date
girl
a
every
week.
week. Okay, I think there are a lot of guys who would be like, "What the fuck?
With a new girl,
I'm not
exactly.
even there yet." But that's why I asked you, because it's important.
Yeah, of course. It's really not a big number to do. I used to back in the days. I would go to the club, just Friday and Saturday. Then I reduced to Friday for many years. I would do let's say 10, 15 approaches per night and get 10 new numbers. I would go to the club for 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, do 12 approaches and get around let's say 8, 9, 10 numbers. I was around 80%. And that 10 numbers, I went on 7 dates. Again, lost like a 30% in texting. You always lose 20, 30%. That's kind of a good ratio on each step. So I would go like on, let's say, I had like, for this one going out on Friday, I had dates for the whole week.
From one
every day in a week.
once going out on a weekend.
From one going out in a weekend. So that was my kind of lead generation strategy. I will go out and collect new leads, and then have like at least 5 to 7 dates. I was like booked every night. I was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I would skip, and then Saturday, Sunday. So basically my whole week was booked with dates. And then I would say that's kind of what I do. On 5 dates that I went, I managed to do something with, let's say, 3, 4 girls.
So most dates are actually converting.
Again, I would lose 20%. Yeah, some girls have a boyfriend, some, they were on a period, some this, that. Some of them going through some mental problems. So simply, or they're seeing someone, kind of some logistical problem was there.
Yeah, you can't do anything with that for sure.
You can control, if you're controlling 100% of her life, you could actually do something. But you go on a date with her, you're controlling that minimum amount, and that's kind of what, I was doing the best I could with, when she was there, but then things would happen. I know, sometimes, I'm on a date, everything is going perfect, and then her mother calls her, her brother had a car accident, he's in a hospital, and she freaks out, starts crying, and she needs to go to, so things would happen, it's life. So you cannot always, be 100%. I thought I could, and I was playing on a small numbers, 10 dates, 10 girls, I managed to do something, but then that can work on, on small numbers. But when you go on big numbers, things started to happen.
I see. So actually there's something that I should put as disclaimer to what you said. The girls that you're talking about are all girls that are on a high level of taste for you, like something that you're actually looking for, not like whatever comes, okay? Because it's a difference. There are guys who are like, I also can do the same, but they are dating girls that are much below their level, and you're like doing this with girls that you are actually very attracted to and wanted in your life. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Yes, these were really hot girls next door that you would want to be in a relationship with, that you want to kind of have in your life. So it was really I would say top models level, but really beautiful, smart.
The girls.
Girls that you really
the
be happy
that guys are looking for. Don't have to be top models. Just have to look very, very good and be very feminine. All of this stuff, and that's what you are going for. That's the first thing. The second thing, and then we move into the problems, is that if I would need to, for the guys who are listening, to convert this into something that's understandable. So if you have 1 date per week as a single guy who's looking for a relationship or just having sex with girls, it's like having average wage, all right? Even below average wage, like working in some office or in some company. Nothing special, nothing to be proud of. It's just average. That's the way you need to understand the metrics of this. So if you are not at that level yet, even you need to do something immediately to change that. And if you are at that level, maybe you are looking for better girls or getting higher results, then you also need to do something with this. You can't leave it like this, okay? It's just, this is the way it is. You decide if it's good for you or not, okay? Now let's move for the problems, the mistakes. Dan, what mistakes do you know that guys are doing with women on first dates?
Okay, pretty much I know them all because, I have done them. And, all my guys have doing it on daily basis, so I'm being correcting for them all over the world. I would say pretty much the first mistake is basically being a leader, not leading. Okay? Like he goes on a summer mitzvah and like, where do you want to go? I don't know. Like, where do you want to go? Okay. So instead of you taking initiative, you let her to control the date. You let her, like, to choose the locations, while actually she, in a way, you need to impress her with your logistics, with your planning and everything. And lots of guys, they don't plan. They just freestyle. Let's go there. Let's go in a park, let's sit down. And then when you freestyle, sometimes it works. Most of cases, it doesn't work. So you really cannot count on some consistent results. Freestyling will never give you. You need to be amazing at freestyling to be able to get consistent results. I know she's gonna fuck it up. It's unbelievable. Like, okay, you lead. And then we go to the bar, it's kind of some nice bar, but the band, there's like exactly that night there is some band, it's too loud, we are sitting on some small corner table, it's uncomfortable. Oh, but I was here like 2 days ago, it was amazing. It's like, that's what really is like, so really you cannot, like, you need to be super smart on leader type, because on leading, choosing the locations, what you're gonna do there, what's the purpose. Because for them, I mean, it's a two different agendas why people go on a date. Like, she's going on a first date. We're going to talk about that later. Like, on a screening thing. She's like, I'm not sure. Do I like this guy? Do I like him or not like him? And you're there on that because you like her. You want to close. You want to do something with her. Like, So it's completely two different things. She's there to kind of wing, to have fun, to relax, drink some wine and get to know you. And you are there, okay, let's, you are more in the sales process. Okay, let's, are you already made decision? You don't need now to figure out who is she. You're on a date because you want something with that girl. She's still not 100%, most of them, on decision-making process. Like, she didn't say yes yet. She's still there on a date thinking about it. Do I want or not? So I would say, but most guys there on a date, okay, I want to close, I want this girl. How can I take her home? How can I start something intimate with her?
Yeah.
Correct? So that's completely different. But I think the bigger problem is the mistake number 2, okay? And mistake number 2 is
actually, before we go into the next mistake,
what?
One more actually trick that I can give you guys for leading that I did a lot of times accidentally, actually, not even on purpose, but it's working amazing. It creates amazing attraction. So I'm always paying for dates. Later we'll explain you why we pay for dates as the men. But I'm always paying for the date. Instead of ordering the check, that they tell you how much you need to pay and everything, knowing that I'm about to pay the check anyway, so I'm like just giving the card to the guy. Instead of him bringing me the check, I just give him the card and tell him, take this with the tip. In Israel, we always have to tip. So take this with the tip and everything, mostly even without the girl noticing. So the moment that this happens, and she's like, and then we like want to stand up and go away, that's what we do. And then she's like, wait, what about the payment? And like, no, I already took care of it. All right. It's a nice trick, and the reason that it works, and generally the mindset of this leading process is he's taking from me the concern of taking care of things, all right? She feels like it just goes very smoothly because she doesn't have to do much in this process. It's me who sculpturing, creating the adventure or the experience in there. So she feels she's like on a yacht just sailing, like the yacht is sailing. She's just having fun on it. That's the feeling she has once you are creating the good leading, which comes with the payment, comes with the logistics, comes with the where we are going, what are we doing, what's the conversation about, what's going on. The moment that you are doing it and making her feel that it's a smooth experience, you will see that women would be very obliged, or like they would like to be with you more and more and more. We can go to the second mistake.
Yeah, I agree on that. Like, it basically, it is the first I take care of you. Basically, you're starting this, we take care of each other. I take care of you, you take care of me. I take care of you. So there's a loop of this energy, of taking care. But you are initiating that, And then, of course, like if you do that, she's gonna start reciprocating and take care of your needs, whatever they are.
Yeah, I actually think that the whole idea of taking care of her and her taking care of you will go deeper in the relationship once we will go over it later, because I remember that you had some not podcast but video with some woman that was saying why what she feels like when a guy is taking care of her and what it makes her do, and guys really like it. But later, what's the second mistake?
Second mistake is about being boring, not having fun. Okay? So imagine this. Okay, so from her perspective, she goes on a date. Okay, it's like usually like guys that look at dinner dates, you know, one location. They sit down very serious. She needs to behave, how she's putting things in her mouth. You know, it's super cautious. It's like she's not relaxed. Everything is being monitored. Interview questions from the guy. It's not, you know, it's not fun. Now she's thinking, this is how it is to date this guy. Do I want this? Do I want to repeat this experience for next 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years? Is this what I want? I mean, for example, when you are buying a car, you know the test drive. You know, every car company lets you to do a test drive. What is the purpose of test drive is for you to connect with the car and to feel, this is how I will feel if I spend money on this, if I give them my money. This is how I will feel every day.
Wow, yeah, I feel it. I mean, I'm just imagining the situation and I'm like, wow, every day, wow.
Exactly, every day, fuck, like, and this is how I'm gonna feel, this is the music I listen to, you know, this is how it feels on the road, you know, so luxurious, like, you know, things. Yes, I'm buying it, okay? So that's what unconsciously they do, like, you know, they want you to connect with it, they want you to experience this feeling. And then you're like, this is what I'm gonna. So same thing is happening with a girl on the first date. She's thinking, this is how I will feel every day. Do I want this every day? Do I want, like, you know, sit down and having like intellectual conversations and not, you know, not having fun or like, you know, whatever, you know, the guy is doing, like, you know. So I would say the first date is a test drive where she's gonna decide, do I want to repeat this experience many, many times more in a different ways?
Once you said this, once you were talking about the experience that you will have every day, it actually connected me to the first point with she wants to not care about stuff. She wants things to like happen to her, that you are leading, and she's like flowing with it. And together it put me to this, and it would sound not connected, but it is. So you know when, especially in your house, because I was in your place, and I know in Israel it's not very common that before you go into the house you remove the shoes, you know, so you remove the shoes and you go around the house. This removing the shoes make you feel not outside, like doing some kind of trigger of I'm not outside, I'm at home, okay, like a feeling of home. And at home I can be carefree, I don't take care of things, you know, I'm not like, I'm not in a mood of like taking care of problems or like solutions or like stuff like this. And the moment that I can be carefree, at least for a woman, it helps her, or it enables her sexuality. How is it connected here? Because the moment you said like she's in this situation and he's like very boring, then she needs to think all of the time. She's not carefree. She's not feeling sexual with him. And that's also why women are friend-zoning guys, because it's not about what you say you want, it's about what you give her. And when you give her like intellectual conversations where she can't feel at home, she can't feel free, she always needs to think because you make her think all of the time, she's not having fun, it's very dense to her, then sexuality will never happen. And it's not even a matter of like how you can be the smartest guy ever, right? Most girls are not there or not getting turned on by there are girls like this, but most girls not getting turned on by a guy who is like sitting and being intellectual with them. All right, most girls want to be carefree, and the moment that you can create,
I have a good story for this analogy. Okay. So like even some girls will come, let's say, horny or turned on a date. Guys will move out from that state. The easiest way to explain this is like, you can start masturbating at home, like you can watch some porn, whatever, like, and get a boner, and then take some book and start reading something logical. What's going to happen? Even though you are horny, even though you are turned on, you start reading a newspaper, some intellectual article, you move energy from the body to the brain, your dick goes down. Your state goes away. Okay? You move the energy to intellect, to the logic, it's gonna go away. And this is exactly what happens on a date.
Yeah.
With lots of guys.
It's like getting it's like getting a call from work.
Even though she's
when you're on a date and then you're like answering it, the date is dead. All right, because you're going into work energy, problem solution. This is not the energy that you as a man want to create with a woman that you want to be with, either sexually or romantically. Okay?
Yeah, that's so true. So that's why basically what lots of guys do, they forget basically the sexuality is created in a body. Okay? Basically, that's where the sexual energy is stored, and you can activate it, like, with touching the body, with doing something with the body, like, and not with the brain. There are hacks with the brain, and this leads us to the mistake, I don't know, number 3, number 4, is sitting too far away from them. Lots of guys on the dates, they're afraid of the distance, they're afraid of the personal space, they sit too far, and they create the friend zone. They create the friend zone, they create the this distance, uncomfortable distance. We're on a date, we don't touch each other, there's a space between us. And that space is killing you. It starts, the more you allow that, the more it works, more and more against you. You've been in situations like that, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I actually understand. I understand the guys and I understand the girls in these situations of like where they are sitting and like how is it going. Actually, I think that in Europe or generally like in other places that I've been to, what happened is that you want on the dates to sit next to her. So like if she's sitting here, then you're sitting here. You want to sit side, on the side of the table to her and not in front of her. All right, because in these type of countries, generally like in Europe, I don't know about USA, I haven't been there, but I do know that in these type of countries where socially touch is not acceptable, all right, when you're not very touchy to one another, then you would like to close distances in there and create more tension like this. What I had specifically in Israel, and it's right to other countries where touch is more common, when you touch other people all of the time. If it's like in a form of shaking hands, hugging all of the time, stuff like that, there are warmer countries that behave like this. What works better on dates is the other way around. When you're actually starting, you're not always like this, but you are starting the date by sitting across. Because in these type of countries, touch is not very unfamiliar. So actually by removing the touch and just concentrating at the beginning on a good conversation, and good conversation is not about intellectual conversation, it's about creating emotions and connection through the conversation itself, you differentiate yourself from guys. So generally what I think with all of the problems that you will see here, guys, is you want to differentiate yourself from other guys in a good way. So every mistake that's done here, it's either being used by any other guy or creating bad emotions to the woman, or both, all right? If you want to do the right thing would always be different from other people and creating good emotions in the girl. The moment that you have these two, it's different, special, and creating good emotions, it would work for you. So yeah, sitting far away for most countries is not good. You are supposed to close the distance. You're supposed to sit next to them, because this way you're creating tension she's not feeling during the day. Like it's something that's different to her. It's not the way that her day to day is working. Then it's different, and it also makes her feel a little tension, because we'll talk about it in another episode about sexuality, right? How to turn on a woman, but proximity, like the distance you have from a woman, can create sexual tension when it's used right. So you should use that simple thing where you sit. It's like it makes sense to sit next to her, not close to her at the beginning of the date, not like leg to leg, you know, but sitting next to her, closer to her, to start creating the tension and reframing the whole date into sexual or romantic level, and not just being a platonic, friendly and everything, which also brings us to the next mistake that guys are creating, that's being a platonic then. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, lots of guys are, they come to the date with the wrong mindset. Oh, let's see how it goes. Like they're like, they don't put any agenda on it. Like, it's like more like, friendly, very, I'm cool. It's okay. Let's just go there for a drink and let's see what happens. So that will actually create friend zone. That level of, I don't want anything. You as a man, you should be a little bit on, I don't want to say put pressure on it, but put pressure on yourself, that kind of you control how she feels, you control basically all the aspects that you can control for yourself for a date, so things get intimate, things get sexual, you're bonding, she's having fun, all of those elements which are the crucial for a date, you are fully in control. Basically, platonic, I would say, means like, okay, like, I don't wanna be sexual. I don't want push anything. I'll be just a nice guy, and kind of not putting any agenda, not putting okay, I'm here to have sex. I'm here to connect with you. I'm here to kind of to create something more like let's see where it goes. Kind of being nice, being apologetic, that you are there not using that opportunity.
I don't know if you guys hear it when Dan is saying it, but this is the feminine energy, all right? I mean, being platonic, being friendly vibe, this is the feminine energy. The feminine energy is accepting whatever is happening and like flowing with it, all right? The masculine energy is the one that's going directly where it wants, okay? So when you are as a man on a date to meet a woman using feminine energy, you can make the conclusion by yourself how good or bad it will work. All right. So you should notice that it connects, as you see, it connects to the leading, to the having fun. It connects to everything that we spoke up until now, because it all has the same philosophy.
If she needs feminine emotion, she wouldn't be on a date with you asking it from you. She's actually there asking from you different things, because she'll be with her girlfriend there, instead of you. So you wouldn't be there if she needs that. What she's hoping to get is something else. Whatever now that girl needs. Now it's hard to put ourselves in that shoes. But I would say something mistake that links to this one, what you just spoke about, is being too emotional. When you're you're sitting at home like, oh my God, and you're daydreaming, this is gonna be amazing, she could be my girlfriend, or we could travel together, or this is my ideal girl, and you create all this kind of false expectation.
Yes, and then everything that happens, you behave to her in a way that that's not calibrated to your connection, your actual connection in real life.
You create a relationship in your head already, and you come there, now you don't want to fuck it up. You're super cautious about every move. You put too much attention on her. Is this okay with you? Maybe we want this, maybe that one, maybe, So you start behaving in a wrong way because you are invested way too much into that emotionally.
Okay, and like what kind of behaviors or mistakes they are doing that's created out of it? I mean, I understand that they should kill it from the root, right? Of stop imagining things that didn't happen. But what actual behaviors are driven from it? For example, one that comes to my mind is over complimenting. You know, when the guy is sitting in the date and he's like this, and he's like smiling like stupid and like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You know, like this type of behavior. Now, there's no problem with complimenting, but he has this, you know, needy energy of like giving her a lot. So what other behaviors?
Okay,
Yeah.
what is? Oh yeah, I mean, it all starts from that. Okay, it's the frame. It's the frame battle. Basically, the frame is like she's there in a mode. I'm not sure, and you are in a mode. I'm 100% sure. This is it. This is what I want. So there's a mismatch. You know, there's a mismatch on the energies.
Yeah.
She's considering. She's checking you. You know, does she wants to be with you? And you are there. No, I want to be with you. Like, you know, this is it. Okay. So it's completely two different stages of dating process, you know. So basically you overstep couple of dates, you overstep like, you know, some emotional stage where things need to happen first to have this, you know, because I mean, she's thinking, okay, like, you know, the guy doesn't know anything about me. He saw me maybe on Instagram, he spoke with me 10 minutes, got my number, and he's 100% in.
Yeah, exactly. How the fuck is that possible? It's a question that should run through your mind when you're communicating with a woman. I saw a lot of guys falling for it. How the fuck is that possible? She doesn't understand. You don't know anything about me. How do you like me? On her mind, she can't understand that. Yeah, and
Their process of liking someone is okay, I need to meet him, I need to understand him, I need to, like, you know, connect with him, and then I start liking him. So basically for them, the main process of like, I see the girl, I like her, like, you know, just kind of physical, you know, looks is, you know, it's different world. They cannot understand that. So that's why, like, you know, you should basically, the right mindset is as well, I'm not sure. You know, she's replaceable. I have many girls like you. Even though you don't have, that's what you need to project. And this is how you're going to get the most out from them. Because now she's in a position where she needs to prove herself to you. In other position, she doesn't need to prove herself. There's nothing to prove. It's already, you know, you already sold customer.
yeah,
There's no need for her to work.
yeah.
And you're gonna get even you manage to get to the bed and to sex. It's gonna be the worst sex ever because she doesn't need to work. She doesn't need to impress you. She doesn't need to satisfy you.
Yeah, I actually have two things to say about this, about everything that we just spoke about in this concept. The first thing is like the difference in the mindset where she's like, because she doesn't know yet, and you know what you want, okay? Like this difference, she doesn't know and you know, you are certain, you are confident about it. When she doesn't know, she's like more flexible. All right, guys, this is something you should know. Because she doesn't know, she's flexible. You can change it. You can play with it. You can make it a yes. You can make it a no. You can keep it on the maybe if you make some good, some bad, you know. But she's flexible. A man should never be flexible about what he wants. So you know what you want, okay? So what am I talking about? There are guys who are like coming to the date and then the woman is like telling them mid-date or end of date, like, you know, but I'm not very available emotionally, you know? And then the guy is saying to her something like, okay, it's okay, we can do just like one night stand or something, you know? He's like, whatever I can grab, I will grab. It can be like this and it can be in other ways, but he's like, whatever I can get from you, I will take it, all right? And when a guy is like this, he's not certain about what he wants, he's just like flowing, whatever I can get, I will take. This puts him in the female perspective as he's actually very weak, you know? He's very undecisive, he's not in his masculine energy, he's not attractive. He's actually, what's the, you know, the synonym, the acronym for attractive, you know? He's repulsive, all right? He's being repulsive to the woman. She doesn't like it. That's the first thing. The second thing is,
Sorry, let's clear something. You can be into her, but you cannot show it. Okay, like that's very important, like to understand, like, you know, yes, I go there, I like her, I want to be with her, but I don't act like that. I'm going to control that. When I go to buy a car, I really like the car. I'm not going to show them that fucking I was dreaming about that car for like last 10 years. I'll be still like, yeah, it's okay, but do you have anything else? You will still kind of play, not hard to get, but like, kind of you have options. This way, you can get a better deal and even lower the price, correct?
Yeah, I understand the mindset. I think you actually should show a woman that you want her and that you like her. But it comes to the second point that I wanted to deliver, which is like um, a woman comes to the date being like I said, flexible, freewheeling. So she's like, I came here to give you the chance to make up my mind. I didn't make up my mind. Help me do it, okay? A man is so she's like, I don't know if I want you, and the more points that you are gaining, the better stuff that you are doing, the more good experiences she has with you, the higher she puts you. Then you can get to the yes, and even higher than the yes, to all the way till the end. She will fall in love with you. Okay, so it's like with a woman you start at zero and you build up. All right, that's the woman mindset. With the man mindset, you decide, yes, I want it, and what she can do, and this is like the way that I'm screening, what she can do in your conversation in the date is doing mistakes that make you feel less for her. So the way that I'm personally playing, or like doing it actually, meeting women, is I'm at yes at first, and every time she does something that's not good, it can be little bit disrespectful sometimes, or it can be just something that doesn't fit me, that I don't like, that I don't connect with, that I disagree with. She actually feels she's losing from it, okay? So as a man, you are in your yes. You give the yes, you show her the yes, and then she's like, okay, I got the yes, so like you said with the car agency, so you're like, wow, I fucking love this car. Then the guy's like, good, so this is the price, and gives you like a higher price for it. And like, what? No, I'm not gonna pay this price. Why did you do it? Like the price, this is the MSRP, and I'm not even paying the MSRP. All right, I want the car, but don't play with me. If you play with me, I'll go to another agency. Don't do it. And this is the best way to be a strong man in dating and generally in life. I show you the yes, and you can make it fall down. And the moment people see this, I mean, you can change it. The feeling that you have when you're losing something is much harder than the feeling that you have when you let someone think he gained something. Losing is always more painful than gaining on the woman mindset. You are gaining stuff, when gaining is pleasurable. All right, so that's my point of view.
I really like that point of view, and I agree. Like, she's going from no or maybe. Basically, when she goes on a date, lots of guys think, okay, like that's it. Like, it's not. She goes on a date. She just gives you the room to play. Okay, play your cards right, and I'll be with you. So you're going from no or from maybe to yes. We go like, okay, I want this girl. And then like, oh, she's smoking, oh, she has a kid, or this, like basically it's going more and more towards the no. So that's super correct. I would say I want to bring one more on emotional thing. That's kind of what I did 20 years ago. But now talking about it, I remember it like, I'll be like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing with her. Basically, I came to the date, I was already in a relationship with her. She was already my girlfriend. And then, of course, nothing will happen, and that will fucking destroy me. Because, I imagined something that I have which I don't have. And then date went wrong way, and I was like next day devastated because I lost opportunity. So it's better actually if you don't project you control yourself, so you don't go start dreaming and fantasizing how she's going to be an amazing girlfriend, because it's going to put you in the wrong frame on the date itself.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think to make it precise, so guys will understand, because it's very gentle. What you need to understand, guys, is you don't feel for a woman more than she gave you. All right, what does it mean? If she looks very, very good, then you feel for her as a woman that looks very, very good. But you don't feel for her as a woman who looks good and doing the cooking and totally in love with you, because you imagined it in your mind, but it never really happened. All right? And when she's interacting with you, she doesn't want to feel that you had a whole fantasy about her, and now you have like millions of expectations about her. It's not fair to her. All right? It's not a fuck up of women. It's fuck up of you when you are trying to create some fantasy in your mind about her. It's not fair for a woman that you are trying to date, that you are like expecting her stuff, even if you're not saying it. You behave like this, that you are trying to, put on her a lot of expectations that you had in your mind in fantasy. You should feel exactly as what she gave you, all right? And what she gave you, you show her the S. If she lowers it, you show her, okay, now it's lower. It's not even on manipulative level. It's just putting it.
This is the natural way of attraction.
Exactly.
She does something or says something, your attraction rises and you show it. But now she knows, this is what he likes about me. So now she knows, if I want to make her happy, this is what I do. Okay? Versus, you come on a date and you really like her because you build this fantasy. And now she's like, okay, but I don't know what this guy thinks about me. I don't know what should I be and behave. I don't know what he likes. Because there is no this feedback process. I did this, he likes it. Or I do this, he doesn't like it. So basically, because guys, girls, they are much more modeling themselves to the relationship, like this microphone. They can shape in a way of a man. That's what they do naturally. You want a girl who is like more of this. If she likes it, she's gonna actually shape it in a way, to fit your life. So that's why, what I'm saying, attraction process, it's a natural attraction. It's a natural attraction process because she is learning about you and attraction is rising. You are learning about her, attraction is rising. Together, something will happen. It's like a pyramid, So on both, and you're climbing the pyramids for different ends.
The way that the way that you are, that women are in relationships, it's important to say it because people may look at it as lower, okay? When she fits herself to the relationship, you need to understand that it's not a bad thing. For a man, it's a bad thing, all right? It's destructive, but for a woman, it's not a bad thing and not destructive, as long as she is doing her job, which is filtering the guy. If she's fitting herself to a guy that's toxic, that's bad to her, all right? She didn't do because when she's in a relationship, she will fit herself to you. She needs to choose the right guy to fit herself to. If she chooses toxic guys, bad guys that are not good for her, when she fits herself to this, then it's destructive. But when she's choosing guy who's taking care of himself, who's taking care of her, she's doing the right filtering process, a healthy filtering process, and then why is she filtering so much? So she will be able to 100% give herself to you and fit herself to you. And it's natural for her to fit herself to you. What's not natural is choosing wrong partners, but that's for another topic. For a man, it's not natural to fit yourself for a woman. You are going around figuring if the woman fits you or not. All right, it's something that you should understand. And fits you doesn't mean that she fits you now. It means that she, it's like being made of some type of material. She's made from the material that fits you. Actually, it doesn't have to be completely ready, but it's good. It has what you need. All right, this is what you are doing. A woman, she needs to screen the guys she's going to fit into, and it's totally healthy and natural. It's okay on this level. I think we'll talk about the last mistake then, and then we'll finish the episode because it's already a very long episode, and the other stuff we got ready for today. We'll talk about it in other days. Guys, if you want to hear about first date strategies, how to actually make the date be special, different, amazing for the woman and for you, and actually get success with your dates, let us know on Instagram, and we will, create another episode specifically on that. So the last mistake then that I saw is actually that guys are too static, in their dates. So they take her to restaurant, they take her to a movie, and they're very passive on the date. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would say actually, I'll put two mistakes, okay? First one is guys who are having too much fun, they get drunk, and then they lose themselves into the fun mode. And then the guys who are completely opposite side of the coin, they're too static, they don't do anything. They just kind of sit there on a dinner, and it feels like a job interview. There's a whole pressure. Actually, dinner has the most amount of the pressure eating, because it's like, it's a messy, kind of the whole table mannerism, how you eat, put things in the mouth, things falling from your mouth, so it's not, it doesn't lowers the pressure. It creates, it puts an additional pressure on a date, so all this kind of static and being boring and not doing much, it's not action, it's not fun, it may work, it can work for some girls. Actually, for some guys, older guys, they actually like that because that's their natural energy, let's say late, 40s, 50s, it's okay, but you still need something to contrast that. So after dinner, you go do something physical, something that's, different to contrast that energy.
I think that guys are staying at the same place for two reasons. The first is they are just not interesting enough as human beings. They're very one-dimensional. They are very they are not living interesting life. So it looks okay to them to just go to a restaurant and eat together, and that's a good date. All right, that's the first thing. And the second thing that make guys be static, which happens even more, is fear, actually. So even if we tell them, you should move her through the date, through different locations, through different experiences, they still would have hard time to do it because they are afraid to lose the girl, on the moving. And this actually brings us back to the leading thing. When you don't have good leading skills, which mostly, by the way, guys, you should know, leading skills are learned the best with women in field, all right? When you are approaching them and getting to know them face to face, you are solving issues you would never ever have to go through in your dating life, unless you are approaching women, in streets, clubs, and places like this. You would have to solve issues you've never had to, and then on dates it's so easy to lead that it's nothing to you. But guys are actually unable to lead. So they are staying static, so they won't ruin it. They're afraid to ruin the date. Do you agree with that?
I just, when you're telling this, I remember one situation. There was one, because really, basically that's what, I would say, meeting girls at the clubs, they, really, teaches you, there's a solution for everything. Whatever problem she has, you are there to sort out the problem. It's kind of first. Actually, it flips lots of good things. I remember one date, I met this super hot girl, model type girl. And we agreed, on Saturday afternoon, it was years ago, Saturday afternoon, 5-6 p.m., to pick her up, And at one point, so I all, get ready, nice, I plan my date, we're gonna go here, there, and the rain starts, but fucking heavy, crazy rain. And she's like, of course, it killed the whole vibe, it's gonna, it's flood. See, let's not go. I don't have, I'm like, why? She's like, I don't have any rain shoes, nothing for the rain, just kind of high heels. I don't have anything here. I have it back at my home. She's from another town living in, I don't have any rain shoes, so I don't feel like going. I was like, okay. So basically we, so she canceled. And I was hunting this girl for, I don't know, weeks, to get her on a date. Finally, that was the moment I knew, that's it. She was busy studying for exams, this, that, working. So I hang up the phone. I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So I sent a text message, which size are you? She's 38. I call my niece. You have 38 something, a boot, something for the rain. She's like, sure. I'm like, I'm coming. So I I just replied, I'm coming with the shoes, get ready in 15 minutes, with the boots, So I came to her place with the boots for the rain. Let's go.
Wow. Did you even leave the place in this situation?
No, I went to her place in front of her building, gave her gave her the shoes, gave her the boots. She wear the boots, went to the car.
Yeah, I think the main reason it's working, guys, is other than being brilliant, social, emotional intelligence, high level, it's actually so initiative and so masculine that the woman just feel attracted to this. She just can't do anything else, she's like, oh, oh wow, it's so overwhelming. Like you seeing a very hot woman, that she's like, okay, I mean, whatever you say, let's do.
It was one text message. Which size are you? That solved everything. And of course, after on that, that date went all the way because attraction was there with this thing. Like, she was like, "Fuck, this guy." She was thinking, "This guy I want to have in my life. This guy, whatever happens, he's gonna."
And it starts with small stuff, guys. I mean, it sounds crazy, but how crazy is it? Just get her shoes. Like it's not really crazy. It's just unusual, but it's not really crazy. It's not. He didn't buy her an airplane. He didn't come with a Ferrari with gift.
I mean, and this girl was like a, let's say, 9.5, super hot girl, like all type. And basically, with that thing, I passed all her filters, all her tests. I came there with that. It was, mission accomplished. We went for like a drink, and then we started making out in some club somewhere, no club, like some bar, and that was it. With one point like that.
This actually brings me to another point about the dating, that you guys should know that women assume a lot, right? Their mind works on assumptions. So they take the smallest details that you give them and make big assumptions upon it, and it can work for good or for bad. All right, what does it mean? Let's say she's saying something and you are not listening at the moment, or you're like watching your phone, or you don't look her in the eyes or something. She's assuming you're a guy who's incapable of listening to a woman. Like that's the level of assumptions they're getting to. One time that you're in the first date, when you are in relationship, it's different. But when she's getting to know you, she's making big assumptions about small stuff. All right, your shoes are dirty. She's assuming you're a dirty person. You have not nice smell from your mouth. She's assuming this is the way you always are. All right, they make big assumptions upon small details. So what Dan did is using this psychology on the other way around. Like he took care of shoes for her, so she's assuming he's a guy who can take care of everything. It's not necessarily true. It's logically not true, right? It doesn't really mean that he can take care of everything. But the assuming mind is making her making the decisions and creating an image about the man, about this guy. So what's happening, guys, to a lot of you is that you are making small mistakes you're not even aware of, okay? And because you're not aware of these mistakes, women assume the worst about you because of these mistakes, and you don't even understand why. For you, the date was amazing and perfect, but for them, the date was, or you are not the guy that they're looking for. And then they finish it with like, listen, it was very amazing getting to know you, but I don't think we should continue. Or even they won't tell you anything, all right, they'll just flake, okay? So you can use everything on the dating to your best or to your worst. And it's all matter of knowing how to use it, which brings us back to the first point of the podcast, of this episode, which is stop freestyling. Start using strategy. We'll talk about it more in next episode, guys. It was a pleasure being with you. Then you can say last words and then we'll wrap this up together.
Actually, we plan to go to more topics like, philosophy and strategies, but I think we'll have to kind of split it into two parts because we really went deep and crazy on this one. And that's what I love working with this man, because he really always brings up the Pandora box to the craziest depths of things. And pleasure to work with you, Danny. And that's what I need. Keep it. It's crazy how how much of philosophy, how much of the knowledge there is in little things that happen. And that's kind of what it basically, the success, it really comes down to the knowledge. Like today, success in a dating, you want to be great with the girls, it comes down to understanding the process and knowing and controlling what are you doing. Girls can like you, girls can love you if you going to be thinking and analyzing in a real time like what we are doing here, us masterminds. So stay in touch, keep learning from us, follow us on Instagram here, be everywhere around, come to our bootcamp seminars in the future. Let's move on. Guys, pleasure.